Okay, hey everybody, this is just a quick video to serve as kind of an accompaniment to my write-up on high-res Go second arena teams. I'll put a link to that in the description of the video. Everyone from Hooglandia, that'll be available in the raid resources on Discord. I'm not going to talk about kind of the kind of strategies and stuff like that. That's all in the written up thing. This is just an opportunity to just like show you my champions and their builds, give you an idea of what I'm doing, and hopefully that'll help you if you're trying to build these kind of teams yourself. So I've kind of got three teams here. I'll show you all these champions, how I've got them built, and maybe try and play a couple of fights with them. So this is leader on team 1. As I say in the write-up, Lydia is absolutely the best lead you can have for one of these types of teams. My Lydia and my Duchess, you'll find from this team, are quite fast. That's because I'm using them in Doom Tower. If you're not using them elsewhere, they don't necessarily need this much speed, and you might be able to push other stats everywhere. But you can see they're like just always looking to try and get these resistance numbers at least over 400 if where possible, so that once we add our auras, we're kind of in that over 500 total. Decent accuracy on Lydia because we want her to land her debuffs. So Duchess on the same team. Again, we see she's pretty fast. Lots and lots of resistance. Doesn't need any accuracy. High HP. Obviously, we're looking for high HP builds in general because ignore defense is a big deal in arena. So HP is a much better form of defense than defensive stats are. Then our damage dealers for that team are Mountain King, and see stacks and stacks of HP, 100% crit rate, and again lots and lots of resistance. Notice I did actually have a Mountain King over 100k HP, but I really wanted to put this ring on. These rings are obviously the absolute best thing you can be doing accessories wise in a Go second team, so happy to take a small hit on stats to put one of those on him. Candrathon, I think, is probably, certainly if you compare him with Duchess, one of the best, if not the best, damage dealers you can have in one of these Go second teams. He veils himself, which reduces the amount of damage that's coming in, and he's red affinity, and red affinity damage dealers are excellent because most of our opposing damage dealers are likely to be blue, so we'll actually often find he's able to survive a hit despite not having particularly high HP there. So that's team 1. Team number 2 and 3 both have Razin as lead. He has the next best aura available for us for res. This is team 2. Razin, close to 100% crit rate, obviously I'd like 100. His resistance is reasonable. He is not somebody I'm looking to necessarily carry all of a large amount of our damage, but he is going to take some of the share in that team. Everyone in these kind of second 2 teams generally is contributing some amount of damage. We've got the accuracy there to make sure we can drop turn meters. What we like to try and do with these teams with the Razin lead is let the opposition team take all their turns. Hopefully we all survive. Then Razin tends to go last on our team, so we can have 1, 2, 3, and then Razin takes his turn, drops the turn meter of everybody on the opposition team, and hopefully we can then kind of go again to tidy up and finish off anybody that's still remaining. Obviously looking at like resistance sets, perception sets, both really good for what we're trying to do here. So next on that team we have Jack. He's in a shield set. Shield set's obviously fantastic. Team 1 doesn't have a shield set, but it's got a Duchess, so we don't really care. 102k HP, excellent. Lots and lots of resistance. Could do with getting that over 400. These second and third teams are still work in progress. And obviously high accuracy because we're trying to land our fears with him. Who else do we have on that team? We have one of our 2 Santas. Santa, pure damage dealer, so we're not worried about any kind of accuracy on him. As high as HP as we can pump, get that crit rate to 100%, and obviously just try and get our crit damage up as much as possible. Obviously, when we're trying to build around 400 resistance, we probably take a little bit of a hit to the crit damage that, you know, where we'd like it to be, but that's fine. Speed to get kind of like in that 170 minimum range, ideally. Who's on the last one on that team? Razin. Mortu Macabre. There is Mortu. Great fun. Really great for when we activate Peril, being able to put someone down, have them not get back up again. Again, his resistance could work. We'd be looking to target more closer to 400, but this is doing the job for now. He's pretty fast, and yeah, just crit rate, crit damage, HP, and resistance. And then the final team have another Razin in the lead. His HP is pretty low. This is one that could probably do with some more work, but we have got the resistance where we want it to be. We've got decent damage coming out of him as well. Enough accuracy, hopefully, to land our turn meter reduction. Then we have our second Santa, really similar stats to the first. He's going to go before our Brogni, so hopefully our Santa, as long as we all survive the initial, our Santa's going to slam, do a lot of damage, put up some shields. Brogni is then able to attack following that with his A2, extend those shields, really put us in a strong position. He's actually pretty nice. We've got over 400 resistance and a decent amount of HP on him. He's actually in a shield set, so we're going to start with the shield to help protect us from the initial slams. Then also on this team, filling out this team, Brago, who's fantastic. He's going to buff our defensive stats on everybody with his passive ability. He's got pretty decently stacked, so everyone's getting 520 extra defense. Again, asking him to do some of the damage here as well, so 100% crit rate, reasonable amount crit damage. Accuracy, we do want him to be able to land his provokes and his stuns where possible. And then the resistance, again, something that needs to be worked on this build a little bit, but should be reasonable for a lot of fights. So those are kind of my 12 champion builds. Plenty of other, obviously, great champs that you could look to use. Norog, I've actually got built for this kind of thing already anyway. He's really good. Again, a kind of defensive champ. He does a bit of a Duchess impression with his passive ability, reducing the amount of incoming damage that we actually receive when attacked. And he has this AoE block buffs, which is great, same as Mortu has. Really good ability if you can use it, because it makes sure Skull Crowns actually die when you try to kill them, instead of becoming unkillable and then counter-attacking your team to death before you can win the fight. So he's great. Any other kind of single target damage dealers? I imagine Altan's probably reasonable if you built him out like this, and I imagine Ceres could be a great sub-in champ if we built her with this kind of high HP, high resist, high accuracy build to maybe help our teams take on Duchess or Sifi teams, and maybe just kind of let them go and then strip all the buffs that have been placed up. Sandlash Survivor is another one that I'm sure is excellent as a kind of defensive damage reduction champ, same as Duchess or Norog. I haven't actually tested her, but I would be willing to bet that she'd be great to build. And Vogoth, who I don't have, I think is in the epics, I think is also probably an excellent choice. Okay. So if we go into the arena, see if we can find any worthwhile kind of traditional kind of speed comps to take on. This one's not super high powered, but you can see the standard, they're going to boost, attempt to debuff us, and then slam us with their Nuka. And hopefully we are going to... Oh, these ones pretty accurate Ceres. This team, however, is pretty good at recovering even when debuffed by a Ceres. You see, we have the blue damage dealer and both of our red damage dealers have actually managed to survive. We'll put out our debuffs, and then that should be lights up. Let's try. This one's got a couple of damage dealers, so hopefully we can get by. 1 decreased defense out, not too bad. Actually, some fairly well built opposition teams. See, we have counter-attack masteries on all of our champions. And I think if we just take out the salad now, the fight's over. So this team is the highest resistance of all of my teams, but even then, still sometimes going to see debuffs. So we would look at those other 2 teams. That's why they need to be kind of pushing to at least these kind of levels. But that kind of target to have 500 res post, or once you have your resistance aura in place, should be good throughout a lot of Gold 4. Obviously not going to be competitive in Plat with that. You're going to need much more powerful builds. Okay, so pretty decent start from the other team. But we're just going to pick everyone up and start to pick people off. We have Blood Shield on our damage dealers, so that when we are taking people out, we're getting that extra shield to help us in these kind of attrition type fights. Candrafon not dying there could be a problem. Okay, we've got the failed res. Lydia's back. Everyone resists Ceres. And the fight is now over when we lock. I'll be out of being able to res again. Just pop it on auto, I think, probably. So this is how a lot of fights go. Sometimes we resist everything, everyone stands up and we just come straight back, slap them down. Other fights we kind of get into that more kind of battle of attrition like that, but having your kind of high HP single target damage dealer like Mountain King can really help kind of pull you through in those spots, because he's very difficult to kill and you're easily able to take out the most dangerous opposition. Anyone more interesting? Find a Trunda team or something. So it's a pretty scary looking team. So Trunda, Tormin, Valk, and Sandra. Wow, the Tormin is super accurate. So our counter-attack mastery is coming in real good there. We're going to lock out the Valk from putting up more shields. We're going to kill the Trunda. Again, even with a sketchy start, this fight looks pretty good. Let's get this Valkyrie gone. And that one's over.